Gila monsters, and we are going to be talking about Greece and the importance of its history. Starting off around 3000 BCE, the Bronze Era started. The Bronze Era was the start of Greece's production and trading of bronze material. This grew popularity and population in Greece. The age lasted until 12,000 BCE and took over 50 years to end. In 776 BCE, the first Olympic Games was held. The people competing were men who were not slaves and born and from Greece families. The main event was a running race called Stadium, and the winner got olive branches and sometimes small sums of money. And then, in 330 to 300 BCE, Alexander the Great became king. He then sent his people to invade and take over Asian countries. This was the start of Greece's war efforts. After Alexander, the Greek Empire was the biggest in the world, but without his ruling, the empire starts to decline.
Moving into the Common Era of Greece, Greece was a part of the Roman Empire for a long time. They were a part of this Roman Empire for over 1,000 years until about 1453, when the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople. After this, Greece became a part of the Ottoman Empire, while some territories within Greece remained independent. The majority of Greece was ruled by the Ottoman Empire and lasted for over 400 years until the Ottoman Empire was defeated in 1827. In 1912, World War I starts, and Greece remains neutral at first and joins the Allies in 1917. After this, Greece gains some territory from the war. However, in 1939, World War II begins and Greece once again starts out neutral, but shortly after, Germany invades Greece and occupies this territory for the next 40 years. This became a tough time for Greece, and during this time of German occupation, many Greeks died of famine and disease. It wasn't until 1944 that Greece was liberated by the Allies. Shortly after World War II, a civil war broke out in 1946. This revolt began by communist Greeks who wanted to go against the established government at the time, which was the Kingdom of Greece. They wanted to establish a People's Republic and have a new way of government. Their efforts didn't work, however, and the communists were defeated in 1949.
The influence of Greek culture is involved in our daily life today in numerous ways, and most are familiar with this idea, but just don't grasp about how much of our surroundings actually originate from Greek culture. More specific examples include Greeks created the world's first democracy. At the time, the government included only 6,000 of the male members of their society, but they all voted on issues in Athens to pass the law. A majority of the 6,000 votes needed to agree, but in circumstances where things were serious, like banishing someone, they needed to have all 6,000 votes on the majority favor. Another example are the Olympics. The Olympic Games began in an island in Greece in 776 BCE, but were later banned by Emperor Theodosius in 393 CE. The games were started up again in 1896, and they continue to be held every 2 years, and it's even grown to where they alternate between winter and spring sports, so that's kind of cool. Marathons are rooted in Greek culture, as the first recorded marathon was when Greek runner Phidias ran 25 miles from the plains of Marathon to Athens, Greece, to deliver news that the Greeks had defeated the Persians in a battle. Pretty interesting. I had never knew that. The first and earliest map of the world was found in Greece, and it was created by the first ever recorded cartographer, Anaxander, who was born sometime around 610 BCE, but nobody knows exactly when his map was created because it was sometime during his lifetime, but still very cool. Alarm clocks were actually invented in Greece by the famous philosopher Plato. I had no idea. He created alarm clocks to wake up his students, and the first model looked like a funnel that whistled like a tea kettle.
Greece has had four main different political periods, which are democracy, monarchy, oligarchy, and tyranny. First, there was democracy, which in ancient Greece, they saw the rise of democracy in the city-state of Athens around the 5th century BC. This period, known as the Athenian Golden Age, marked the development of a direct democracy where eligible citizens could participate in the decision-making process, contributing to the governance of the city-state through various institutions such as the Assembly and the Council of 500. The democratic experiment in Athens influenced political thought and practices in further civilizations and continues to serve as a foundational model for modern democratic systems. Next, there was monarchy, which was prevalent in ancient Greece during various periods in different city-states. Many Greek city-states, including Sparta, Thebes, and Macedon, were ruled by kings or queens. For example, Sparta was ruled by two hereditary Spartan kings, one from each of the two royal houses, while Macedon had a line of kings, the most famous being Alexander the Great. Monarchies are common in ancient Greece before the emergence of democratic forms of government, which each city-state having its own system of government based on monarchy, oligarchy, and tyranny, depending on the time period and region. Next, there was oligarchy, which was present in ancient Greece at various points in history, particularly during the Archaic and Classical periods. An oligarchy is a form of government where power is concentrated in the hands of a few wealthy or influential individuals. City-states like Corinth and Thebes experienced oligarchic rule where a small group of aristocrats or wealthy citizens controlled political decision-making and held power. Oligarchies were prevalent in ancient Greece before the spread of democracy and continued to coexist alongside democratic governments in some city-states. Finally, there's tyrannies, which arose in ancient Greece during the Archaic period, typically around the 7th and 6th centuries BCE. Tyrants were individuals who seized power by force or with the support of the people, often in response to the socio-political unrest or dissatisfaction with existing aristocrats' regimes. City-states like Athens, Corinth, and Sicyon experienced periods of tyranny where a tyrant ruled with absolute authority. Tyrannies were an intermediate form of government between monarchy and democracy, representing a shift towards more inclusive governance structures despite the often autocratic nature of tyrants' rule.
Choosing Greece as a subject of a project has many reasons, rooted deeply in its rich history, cultural diversity, and enduring significance. Personally, Greece's significance lies in its history of advanced ancient civilization where philosophy, art, and democracy flourished. Greece offers a window into the birthplace of Western civilization, telling us about the origins of modern thought and society. Its ancient ruins, such as the Acropolis and the Delphi, stand as a testament to the enduring legacy of Greek architecture and ingenuity. Greece's cultural significance extends beyond its historical prominence. It remains a hub of artistic expression with its music, dance, and literature influencing global culture. From the passionate melodies of the rebutiko and the graceful movements of traditional Greek dance, the country's cultural contributions resonate worldwide. Furthermore, Greece's contemporary relevance lies in its role as a crossroads of civilizations, bridging the East and the West. Its geopolitical importance, coupled with its economic and cultural contributions to the European Union, has it being a continued influence on the global stage. By understanding Greece's past and present, we gain invaluable insights into our shared cultural heritage and human experience.